Everyone. So today's lesson is the continuation of the last lesson, and in this lesson also we are going to look at five hard complicated English words, and I'm going to explain the meaning, and I'm also going to give you one example so that it's easier for you to understand how to use them in your sentences. So let's just start with the lesson. The lesson has been prepared by me, Svetlana Mandal. The first word that we have in today's lesson is excogitate. Now, this one, first thing, it refers to think out or, devise. Like, devising a plan out, maybe. The second one is to study intently and carefully in order to grasp or comprehend fully. Let's take a look at the example. She failed to do her homework and finally excogitated a convincing excuse. So basically, she devised out or she made up a convincing excuse. So instead of saying, she came up with a very good excuse, or she thought about a very good excuse, or she devised a very good excuse, I am saying she excogitated a very good excuse. It's basically a fancy word that you can use in order to make your English better. It sounds better, it sounds crisp, and it sounds more sophisticated when you use these kind of words, in your sentences. The next word that we have today is conviviality. Now, this one refers to the quality of being friendly, lively, and friendliness. For example, their conviviality convinced the others that together they can be strong competitors. So basically, conviviality is, the quality of being very good friends, or, someone who is very friendly to be with. And then it's basically like you meet a person who is very amiable, who is very friendly. Even though this person is a stranger, he comes across or she comes across as a very friendly and amiable person. So this is actually, that person is a convivial person. So conviviality is a quality of being friendly. So that is what conviviality means. The next word that we have in today's lesson is Gasconade. Now, Gasconade is boasting, like over the top kind of boasting. Say I have just made it to the university, and then I'm going back home and I'm telling everybody, oh my god, I have made it to the university. Yes, it was so hard, but none of my friends got it, but then I did. I'm that kind of a genius. So I'm just boasting, right? And over the top kind of boasting. It's not just simply boasting, it's like boasting about something which is, and making it huge. That is what Gasconade means. Let's look at the example. For if you believe the Gasconaded speech by her, then you are fooling yourself. So this particular person, she gave a speech and it was very convincing, but because you are very close to her, or maybe you have followed her, that how she keeps on bluffing people, and if she has done something, she will just exaggerate it and tell everybody that how much she has done, even though she hasn't done that much is also. So that how much gasconading she's doing. So you are saying that if you believe her speech is completely gasconaded, and if you believe whatever she's saying, then you are the audience is like fooling themselves. Okay, so that is what gasconading means, and that is what this sentence, the example that I've included here, is trying to say. The next word that we have is cupidity. Now, this one refers to eager or excessive desire, especially the desire to possess something. For example, ambition and her cupidity to achieve more than her friends is what made her a successful woman. So basically, you are very ambitious, and then you want to achieve everything. For example, if I'm a bibliophile, if I have, I love collecting books. So there is this whole issue with me that even though I have read this particular book as an ebook, I already read the book, but I'm obsessed with the whole idea that when I like a book, I have to have it, I have to possess it. So that is cupidity. Okay, like I have to possess that book because I liked it. Even though I have read the book already as a soft copy, but that is not enough for me. I have to possess it. So that is cupidity. The last word that we have in today's lesson is magnanimous. Now, this one basically refers to, generous or forgiving. But this one actually depends on the context in which you are using. So let's see the example in order to understand it better. She was too magnanimous to resent all the things that others said to her. So she is probably like a philanthropic person who believes, like if she is privileged enough, then it's her responsibility, or it's her duty to help those who are underprivileged. Okay, so then she becomes a magnanimous person. Like she is so much with the idea of the whole idea that she's responsible. Like she, as a citizen, as a privileged citizen, she is responsible for those who are not that privileged, who are underprivileged, who needs the basic education or the basic amenities of life. Then she is a magnanimous person. Okay, like she cannot resent the people who come to her with requests like help me, or do some charity, this is for good and everything. So, and she never even thinks twice before doing this. She has that big of a heart. So then she becomes a very magnanimous person. So that is what magnanimous means, and that's it for today's lesson. I'm going to pause this lesson once again here. I'm just giving you five words in each lesson because I know how much it takes to actually use these words in your speeches and when you talk every day, because you have to understand which word sits where. Just because I'm saying that, magnanimous is this kind of a person, you cannot just go around just using these words. Then it just sounds very weird if you do that. So you have to understand the context where you can use these words. So that is very important, and that is the reason why I'm giving just 5 words in each sentence, so that it's easier for you to understand and it's easier for you to use them, because that is the whole point of learning these words. You have to use them in your speeches, or else there is no use of learning, or else there is no use, in learning new English words until and unless you use them in your speeches. That is the whole point why people go around and, they want to improve and then they want to enhance their English vocabulary. So that's it for today's lesson. Please take care of yourself, and in the next lesson also I'm going to talk about 5 more English words which are quite hard, and you can use them in your speeches. And thank you for staying with me till the end.